There we go. Welcome to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint the pieces. You watch me paint the pieces. Some of you talk to me while I paint the pieces. It's all fun and it's all good times. We have a new printer. Old Red's got a buddy. Well, now we have an old red and an old yeller. And I guess we get an old black. I guess he's gray. I guess we could call him old gray. It's not really black. He's got a black lid. I don't know. Let's come up with a name for him. Kind of like Torpedo Head. I like Torpedo Head. Anyway, so it's another Mars. So we've got two Mars. So it's kind of like brothers. It's kind of like Kane and Taker. There we go. Kane and Undertaker. I like that better. So, although Undertaker should be the older one, if you watch wrestling. Anyway, it's nice. We've also got we've got a print in the old Mercury. LU is funny. They like to name stuff after I guess planets or gods. I'm not sure which it is. It seems like planets because the other one's a Saturn, and then there's because there's a Neptune. So, gods. I think it's gods. Greek gods. Anyway, well, that would be Roman because they're using Saturn. I don't know. It gets really complicated. Anyway, and that just beeped. So we're right here. Good morning, Sir McBeardsly. Look, we have a new printer. Look, it's over there. New printer. Pretty cool. And the cape is finished. So. So we have this part now. Oh my God, you're not going to see any of that arm. We did all that work on that hand, and you're not going to see it. Oh, you can't see it anyway. Here, hold on, let me get this up here. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I did all this work on this hand and this arm. So, just so we could cover it completely with a cloak. You can't even. I gotta be careful about laughing too hard. I'll trigger my throat thing. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. I love it. It's hilarious. If I dare you to say that's not funny. That is funny. On the bright side of life, we aren't going to see you're not going to see those seams either. So that weird seam I was worried about there, you're not really going to see it. I'm going to finish. There's still some water hanging out. We'll have to get some of that off of there. And we'll have to check and make sure everything is good to go. But we've got this, which is great, because that's going to help a lot with the whole thing. And there's her head. Where's her boots? So as you can see, it's a pretty, all in all, it's a pretty legit model. She's a decent size. She's not quite as big as the Ronnies or the other ones, but I think her pedestal she's standing on is higher. And plus, in the game, she's like the same size as all the characters. She's not as big as all of these, all the other demigods. From the thing, oop, where'd her head go? Flying off. I don't think I broke anything, which is good. The good thing about this now, though, is if I break something, I can just reprint it, and I can do it again. The other pieces, Mike had bought them on Etsy. The way to go is to just buy the file and print the file. If you want something custom done, you know. Anyway, I got one more flame printed off. Looks like everything worked out okay. I don't know where it plugs into yet. I think a lot of this stuff ends up plugging into her arm. I know this one does. This one goes. The good thing is they made the holes all specific sizes so they'll fit what they fit. And I have a picture of the actual model so I can help get the rest of them on there. House, that's the one about the doctor. A lot of people say I reminded them of House when I taught culinary school. I never really watched this show. I've seen clips of it. I didn't really watch it. Alright, looks like there's some spots in here too. I don't think that goes there. There's also more flame pieces I have to paint off. That goes there. That just fit in like a glove. Yeah, that one goes there. Alright. Kind of nice to have this piece here. It's going to help with a lot of these things. Like I said, we've still got some flames to paint off. We've got the back of her head to print off. And the base. And the base is pretty big. So, might have to order some more resin soon. Another thing that's going to end up right there. Might be that. Maybe. I think this one's going to go on her arm though. It feels like it's got the curl go around. It's going around her arm. Because like she like lights up, if I remember right in the animation. I don't know, we need to get all of them out, all of them printed, make sure I have them all accounted for. The cool thing is I'm keeping all the misprints of that. Because so like this one printed, but you can see how it misprinted, so there's some unshapen parts to it. You see right here, stuff like that. So that's obviously misshapen. And there's a line through here too. This was when I was calibrating the new printer. I didn't secure the print bed properly because it's a new style and I wasn't paying as much. I was not paying attention to things I should have been paying attention to, and paying attention to things that didn't actually matter at the time. And I created that problem there. Which is fairly, you can see this on the other one. It's fairly similar. Now this is the this is the red printer, Payne, I guess we would call it. There's just one side that won't print properly, and it's just straight up flat. Like everything on that side of the printer over is gone. Whereas with this one, you can see how it tried to form it. It just kind of didn't quite do it right. And when that happened, we lost the pegs and we lost some of the shape to some of this. But that's a piece of fire. Like we can use this on something else. If we want to make some sort of kit bash and we need fire or something like that, now we have it. So don't throw these things away. These things are definitely important to keep. Anyway, same thing like this. This was a misprint. When I started figuring out something was going wrong with red, this was the print that came off of it, and this was a Tyranid. It's supposed to be a Tyranid. And again, you can throw this away, or we could save it for terrain bits. Maybe we want to have part of a Tyranid head buried in something. There's lots of things for a Tyranid tail. There's lots of things you can use these things for. So don't throw this junk away. You might need it later on. And this is actually a kit from something else. Somebody else had this, and they gave it to me. It's like you can always use stuff. Doesn't look like this got put together quite right, but That's alright. We'll fix him up and use him for something. Eventually. Alright, I've been yapping for like 12 minutes now. Alright, so let's get this guy cleaned up and primed. Because I definitely feel like, where's the big spot? I wonder if this one goes there. Well, that's a pretty good candidate right there. I don't know. Again, it'll make more sense when we have them all. Small line there. That could be because the resin is a little old, or you got off temp. You can see right there, the line going all the way around. So what we want to do to fix that is get the shovels. And you can use a file for this too, but on these lines for these resins, I found that you can just kind of like shave that off, similar to a mold line. And if you don't feel satisfied, you're getting a satisfactory product, then you could always come back with a file. What's interesting is that some of it didn't get it quite as bad as others. I bet it's because it's an older resin. It's all good. I've had it for a little while. That's one of the things I have noticed over the years. Like, the fresher the resin is, the better it usually the results are. I also need to change out my my alcohol mix so I can get a little cleaner. It's about to the saturation point. And it's barely noticeable. This little line may just be me being a little obsessive, but as you saw earlier in the show with the whole hand that we painted that you won't be able to see, I can be a little obsessive. That's definitely got to go to the Society of Hidden Paint. great. That one's one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. That one's geese. I'm gonna start laughing and coughing again. I gotta calm down. That's a good one. Pretty good. It's a pretty good file, man. It's a little water right there. Grab one of these cheap plastic brushes and just kind of pull that out of there. Make sure there's not any water trapped in any of these places. Oh, you know, it was alright. Got whooped by the top team in the division. And they're pretty obnoxious. So, got to the end of the game and they injured one of my players. And I was like, hey, slow walk this off, man. We want to burn up this clock. So we can leave. And he was like, yes, sir, coach, sir. And it made this team so mad. So my record of losing games but making the other opponent mad as hell has continued. It's pretty wild. It's just like, I don't know why y'all mad you won. They're just trying to run up scores. And it's just like, I mean, I don't really particularly think that that's that teaches anybody anything. But, you know, whatever. My oldest son, when he was playing on teams, and they'd start beating people like that, the coaches would always have them, you know, changing positions, working harder, like, you know, this person has to score the goal, you know, and they started making it more difficult for the team that's doing the whooping. And, yeah, there's a level where you're now just rubbing it in, and it doesn't really teach anything. It doesn't teach the people that are winning the game anything. It doesn't teach people that are losing the game anything. And the whole idea is to teach people how to play the game when they're kids. That, like, here's a, you know, there's just a part of it where you should start looking at how you play. If you're the top team, like, you gotta challenge yourself. You know, you get stagnant and then you become the top team in your little pond, but then you gotta go and fight somebody else, a fish in another pond, and that fish whoops the hell out of you because you never grew. You never actually, like, made yourself better. You were just better than the people you were fighting. You know, you become oh man, what's the guy on Secret Level? Have you watched Secret Level yet? If you haven't watched Secret Level, you need to watch it. It's awesome. We also, we were down in your neck of the woods too. We went to TZ Comics in the Malaysian joint, and had some grubs. Oh, you gotta watch it. His name is like Applestead or something. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the voice of it. It's hilarious. Heck, I might have been in there. You might have just not seen me. Although I don't think you could miss me. I was wearing my Ranger scarf and my Santa hat and bright blue ass shoes. I had on the Emperor's Children shirt. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Alright. Let's see. Kinda want to prime this guy. Okay. Yeah, my kids were in the arcade the whole time, so I was in the arcade. So if you weren't in the arcade, then you definitely might have just literally missed each other in the same place. They didn't really go back on the tables or anything like that. They were there to play video games and pinball and stuff. Those good times. One of my son's birthdays is around this time of year, so it was our family outing. And I have another son whose birthday is also around this time of year, but it's later, so we do his later. Try to spread them out, especially with Christmas around all that. You try to spread all that stuff out, you know. You don't want the kids to feel like Christmas completely overshadows their birthdays. I'm sure you know how that feels. Since you're a December VA too. There, sure. I'm in September, so I'm fall. Like literally right around the beginning of fall. And one of my boys is a fall, and my wife is a fall. My daughter is the only summer. I'm gonna get out this big old fall. Just getting those cracks. Various old kind of junk brushes that I use for priming things. This is one of them. It's like a longer, it's a much longer bristle, so it does well at getting into the crevices on long. If it has like long valleys like this, this is the brush for this. It's also a good brush if you're trying to like write on a poster. This is the kind of brush you want. I have some other ones that are a little bit better, more like crayons, called bobs. I think I want to try to use them for writing banners and stuff like that. It's supposed to be helpful for those things. When we get there, you're not even going to see most of this, but we're going to prime it and paint it I'm not going to prime that very top piece, because we will definitely not see that. Because it's going to sit, oh yeah, we're not going to see it. It's going to glue right to her. But yeah, I really like the new printer. Gonna get some stuff printed off and going. This one's so much quieter. It makes half the noise, and it's got a built-in filtration system that's a little air purifier that's a little bit more high-end than the second generation. Because Payne over there is a second generation. The Taker is a 4th gen. Lord of the Rings. Is that for Magic? Magic has Lord of the Rings now. That's crazy. Gary Gygax should be rolling in his grave. The company that bought his. Yeah. Like, so Wizards of the Coast bought Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons was supposed to be like, there's a lot of it's based on Lord of the Rings, and they were supposed to use a bunch of things from Lord of the Rings. They had to change it because of the Tolkien estate. And so I'm sure Gary Gygax would be looking at this situation and be like, man, what the shit? I find it personally find it amusing. A lot of people don't like hand painting on the primers. I don't mind. Although if I'm doing a bunch of models at once, then airbrushing or rattle canning is definitely a much faster way to go about it. this cloak was black. Maybe it's dark umber. Might do a raw umber and then a brushing of burnt umber over top of it. Bring out its brownness because she's pretty brown on the cloak side of things. That powder cloak. Everything seems like it's a month behind. There's a gang of crows outside my house right now. Make it all. Okay, I guess it's a murder of crows, isn't it? But there's a whole bunch of them out here, just crackling away. No, it's gonna be cool because you can have 9 of them because of the 9, yeah. Is it just me, or is the scam calling getting to be like more and more pronounced? Like, man, them voices after it lately. Maybe they're just after me more because I'm old. In local news, there was a gentleman from Mustang that completely emptied the bank account of a little league team here over in Hera, which is close to where I live. I was just remarking to Kristen on how anybody would be able to just simply steal from a child's little league team. And you just kind of start going, holy Moses, people are crazy. Switch over to this guy. This one I was looking for before, I couldn't see it. This is also a good one. It's got a longer point to it as well. It's a rounder one. It's not quite as long, so it doesn't quite pull as much paint as the other one did. But I like the shape of the handle on this one a little bit better. It's weird how I'll look over there in my cup for a brush, and I'm going, I know that brush is over there, but I don't see it. And then I'll start working on something with another brush that's similar but not the same. And then the brush I'm looking for pops up, and I'm like, ooh. I think it's all the people I've lost in my life haunting me playing games. Sometimes that's how I think about it. Maybe just so I can have them back for just a little bit. That's a fun way to think about it. More likely, I just couldn't see it. Sure would be fun if it was people playing it that you knew that loved you playing pranks on you. boring paint. This stuff's boring to watch, I'm sure. I'm trying to keep things entertaining. Main thing with priming, I was making sure you're getting in all those spots, so it can get a little tedious. Well, Trench Crusade closes here very shortly. If you want to be in the beginning Kickstarter, I'm going to have a hard copy of the book, which is great. I love hard copies of the game books. They're my favorite way to have game books. Digital's cool and all. I like that too. I think that it's neat to have both, if that's an option. Just as a forever DM, I've noticed that players become more inspired to play games when they can look through a book for the first time. Like, if you're going to expose somebody to Dungeons and Dragons, and you immediately, just kind of like set them in front of a screen to have them make a character, it's not always as good as like, alright, here guys, kind of look through these books, we're going to talk, session zero me out while talking about how the game works and how you look through those books. Even if they're not reading it. Like, don't even tell them read it. Like, hey, just kind of take a look through these books, kind of get some feel for the world, some inspiration for maybe some characters you'll play or whatever. We're going to talk about what we're going to do for session zero. I find that works a whole lot better than like a screen. I mean, most people are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, but if you're trying to inspire somebody to get into a game that is pretty new to the hobby, then it's definitely, in my opinion, it's better to have a physical copy of the book. Oh gosh, this magnificent. It's a really nice piece of work. Oh, let's see. Speaking of, took my shout out. Hey, we went to Half Price Books too on Saturday. Roadside picnic. Oh, cool. Yeah, I have all of H.P. Lovecraft's work in one big, massive tome. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It belonged to one of my friends that were so close to me. It was like a brother. And he passed away. I'm getting to where I've only got just a few friends left. I never thought it was going to be me standing at the end, watching everybody go. It's kind of weird. Yeah. You just kind of wonder who's next. That's terrible. I shouldn't say stuff like that. It's probably me. I shouldn't say stuff like that either. I do, but I shouldn't. Oh. But yeah, anywho. Take a short break with my hand. It's not tedious. It's not hard work, but it is a little tedious. I didn't sleep very well either last night, so I'm kind of a little foggy. My whole body feels like it's kind of underwater. It's a smart way to print this too. Take those pieces off, and then we can put them back on instead of trying to print it with all hanging off there. Make it a whole lot easier to paint. These bristles are a little stiffer too, so it helps with some of these edges. Dog wants in now, of course. Getting close to the end. She can see how long if she keeps barking. Make me a little crazy. I get too crazy about it. I have to go get her because I start going, ah. She starts bothering me. But it's a nice day outside, so I don't feel bad for her staying out there. She may just decide to hang out for a second. We'll see. And you know, not like keep my dog out in the cold. If it's cold outside, or too hot. Like I don't, you know, you shouldn't let it keep your dog outside. It's too dang hot. It gets hot around here. Ooh, all shaky. Bubble, little imperfection there. Another thing I like about hand doing it, because you'll spot those things a little faster, I think. Take care of them before you're like halfway into painting it. I think I might have a carrot copy of it. I might have a copy of that somewhere. Although I lost a lot of books a few years back when I got divorced. Man, that's gonna be a good looking model. She's gonna look great. It's a chunk plastic. And I guess her hand is pretty close to Ronnie's. Ronnie's was only a little bit bigger than that. So she's pretty close to Ronnie. Ronnie's a little, like I said, Ronnie's a little bit bigger. And Godfrey's a little bit bigger. But it's pretty close to the same scale. Cool. Okay. One just to own it. That's funny. just to have a copy. To look and see. I think I have it somewhere. Pretty sure I do. I have a copy of it that has like, it's like a bicycle in the front of it. It's pretty interesting. It's, if you've never read it, it's an interesting premise. The guy goes into a zone to get these artifacts that he's not supposed to be getting. I won't tell you too much more about it than that, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. It was banned for a while. I don't remember where. I want to say it was banned. Man, I want to say it was banned in Russia. Maybe it was banned in the U.S. Hold on. Oh yeah, immoral behavior and stuff was why it was banned. Hold on. Came out in a highly edited form. Yeah, in the USSR. So, which is weird because it's a pretty anti-capitalist. But it was banned in Russia for being vulgar and stuff. It was banned for like 8 years and then released in super edited form. So it's interesting piece of history for sure. Okay, so now let's go to Melina. When she's burning that tree. Pre-brown, dark browns, going into black. I gotta put that black stuff around her eye. The little glyph thing that she's got. That's pretty cool. Dark blue. Phthalo blue on that one. Most of it's this darker, almost like a black color. So they'll bring it in that orange. This is pretty, I mean, it's pretty dark. It's going to have to start off pretty dark. sure if we might have to go with a black, at least on the inside. You know, I don't really always like using black. But you know, you need like a blend of the black and the brown here. It's got to be darker than this. You're getting an awful lot of noise over there, buddy. My cat is out. Let me see him. Woke up, did you? Yeah? You gonna say hi? You go. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. You come to say bye to everybody? So... yeah, I mean, it was the 70s in Russia, so banning that book would have been about right on par for what was going on. Especially if they were going to ban it for, like, you know, those kind of reasons, where it's morally corrupt or vulgar or whatever. Because it does, the way they present the information is pretty, you know, lowbrow. Or it's down on the worker chain. And at that point in time, the Soviet system had gotten pretty corrupt and was getting pretty oligarchy again, because that's how it goes. You gonna say something in the mic? Get me out for everybody. Where are you going? Oh, don't step in the paint. Or if you're pointing that thing. Well, you know. What are you gonna do? Well, we're gonna come back. He's always needy. That's for sure. He is a needy boy. Silky too. He got like the softest damn fur. He's like illegally silky. He should be. It's like a natural. Should be just little. Dude, don't go walking through the plants, bruh. That's why my oregano got smashed. Dick. He's such a dick. Bruh. I'm gonna get a squirt gun, I swear to God. He's funny. That's funny. Dude, you're gonna come back through it? Dude, that's the basil. I have all my herbs in here. I move them in the winter. That's good times, though. That's good times. That's what it's all about. Well, I might actually go ahead and get this whole thing painted up in brown just to get started. So that we're not just painting brown like tomorrow, because like painting gray today sucks. It's fun to talk about things, but it was not the most entertaining of things to watch. So tomorrow, I think, get out of the way, get out of the way. Don't step in the paint. So it'll be a little more set up tomorrow. I was a little groggy today, and I was like, let's do this anyway. So hopefully we'll have it getting into some pretty good shape tomorrow, and then we'll start adding some stuff. I think I'm gonna try to print the base. I'll try to print the base and the other flames, at least the other flames, because man, we need those. We need to get that. We need to get all that printed, because I gotta figure out where they go. And then be home for Christmas. I will probably be late Thursday if I go on at all, because I have a doctor's appointment. So Thursday I might not be on. Glad I remember that. just so everybody knows. You know, they're always running tests on me and stuff. Because that's what happens when you get old. Everybody, they come and run a bunch of tests on you. And then they make you wait around and you're like, well, what did it say? And like they give you the information, but like it's all in gibberish, so you have no idea what it means. It's like, there's the tests. I have this thing, you can see it on your phone, what all the tests said. And but like if you're not trained to be able to interpret into that data, you're just looking at it like, meh, it says stuff. So anyway, you guys are awesome, phenomenal people. Really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a great day. Be good to each other. Bye.